All righty. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. I want to make sure that the live is living before we get started this morning. So, let me make sure it's started on all ends. Let me make sure. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, good morning. Okay, perfect, Ariane. I can see you now. All right, awesome. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another live series. I am super excited to be here today. And I am super excited to hop into our topics. Like, they're very much going to be gems. I'm super excited to talk today. So, again, let me know if you can hear me in the chat before I hop all the way in. But good morning, or as we say all the time, hey, friend. I am Myah Unique, your multi-passionate, purpose-pushing, visionary friend. Okay? And I show up to show you that if I can do it, friend, you can do it too. Okay? And so, again, our brand, the DU brand, the Myah Unique brand, turned 3. And I think this was April 30th of this year. And so I wanted to do this little series called 3 Lessons in 3 Years. But the surprise was that I also wanted to pick 3 giveaway winners, okay, to celebrate our 3rd-year anniversary. So again, I am going to be talking about like my journey in entrepreneurship, and just the top 3 lessons that I personally learned along my journey this far. And so again, day 1, we're going to be talking about, how to find the balance between passion and profit. Day 2, we're going to be talking about it's time to tighten up that business model. And day 3, we're going to be talking about going all in with your idea. Okay. So I also do have a couple of questions because I asked on my story if anybody had any questions for today. So I'm also going to be going over those. But let me know in the comments if you are excited, because I'm excited. I am really, really, really excited. I've been waiting on this live series all month, okay, because it's May now. So I've been waiting on this since April. All right. So again, to celebrate our 3 years, we're also going to be doing a giveaway. So we're going to pick 3 winners for our Visionpreneur Journal. Again, this journal is a journal for those who have a million ideas in their head and they really want to get some organization, get some structure. They want to make it make sense, right? Make it into a profitable business, because I am here to say in the last 3 years, I have built a profitable, sustainable business. What do I mean by that? I make a living off of my business. And it's so crazy because a lot of the times people say, oh, businesses fail in the first 5 years, or you may not be profitable in the first 5 years. But I'm super grateful to God that I've been able to live and sustain off of my income, and also like for my family's goals, right? Because how many of you here, you may have goals, right, for your family, you may have goals for, to help you get more or further off in life, right? And so I'm super grateful that this business has been able to again be a blessing, not just to me but also to others. It has had the opportunity to bless and to encourage and to transform others' lives. And that's why I'm super excited to talk about that today, because honestly, it's been my struggle with balancing both passion and profit. And I think especially being creative, right? Being a visionary, being a dreamer, sometimes that is our biggest struggle. So I want to talk about that today. But again, we are going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to make sure that link is in the comment section. It will also be in the description box, but you have to the end of this day. I will be announcing all of the giveaway winners on Friday. So again, if you want to organize the millions of ideas in your head, be sure to click the link in the description or in the comment section, and you will be able to get that there. So Ariane, you can go ahead and get that posted. It is in the main task of our ClickUp dashboard. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of the biggest lessons that I learned in the last 3 years, one of the biggest lessons that I learned was number one, find a balance. Find a balance of passion and profit. The moment that you operate at one extreme or the other, listen, your business is going to tumble, okay? You're going to feel the stressors, right? So if you are hyper focusing on passion and impact and all of the things, then profit is lacking and you are finding yourself having to do more heavy lifting because you're not focusing on what's making money, right? You are again just showing up, just doing what you love to do, which again is great, right? I get paid to do what I love, but a problem occurs when I'm doing what I love and not getting paid. You get what I'm saying? Like there needs to be some return of investment. And I say this all the time to those that I've mentored, to those that I've coached. You need a return of investment, even if you show up for free, even if you give a freebie, right? You need a return of investment, okay? Put that in the comments. Return of investment. Every time you show up, every time you get give something for free, you need a return of investment. Also, Ariana, if you can make sure the link for the giveaway is in the comments as well. I just need you to comment. Okay, awesome. So again, you need a return of investment every time you show up, whether you do a freebie, whether you do a giveaway, whatever you are doing, you need a return of investment. It always does not look financial or like money, but it can be an email or it could be a connection or it could be, building your network, but you need a return of investment off of that. And I think that is what I realized when thinking long term is that, hey, I'm showing up, I'm doing all these things, and I love what I do. I love pushing others to their purpose. I love talking about Jesus, right? I love, empowering and building up the visionary and building up the vision. But the reality is, if I'm not charging my worth, because that's what we're going to talk about today. Multiple people have questions on that. If I'm not charging my worth, if I'm not, getting paid to show up and I'm showing up for free, doing all of these free trainings, but nothing is paying me, then I hit a point where I no longer can do what I love. And I now have to operate in survival mode, because that's what happens. When you focus so much on passion, you end up having to go into survival mode, because now it's like, oh, I got to just do what I can do so that I can make some money. You know what I mean? But that takes away the joy of having a business. And then you also don't want to be so profit focused, because then you're chasing after every single dollar, but not doing what you love to do, not doing what you're passionate about doing. And so as I was reflecting over like the last 3 years of my business, I realized that I showed up a lot for free 99. Oh my goodness. I was like, bro, free 99. Every time I looked around, I was doing a free series or a freebie or whatever the case may be. I was always showing up, which that was really good and building a community and really good at, targeting, those who I was called and connected to and all those things. I mean, I remember, I think before I had an in-person summit, I did a free 3-day summit, y'all. And it was like 7 p.m. to like midnight for real. Like I was teaching, we prayed, we did all the things, and it was free, 99. And I will say it helped me again build a community. But what I also want to point out is that if you're always giving for free, you can't expect that same audience that's been getting things for free to now be willing to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, if you focus on one extreme, you can't expect them to be like, oh, here's my card. Here, I'm ready to pay. Because in our reality, you've been giving away so many things for free. They feel as if they don't need to pay. You get what I'm saying? Now, again, freebies or free live trainings or whatever you offer for free is supposed to give your audience a taste of what it is to work with you, a taste of the value that you have on the inside of you, but it's not to take away It's not to take away from, what you have to bring to the table, because at the end of the day, I want to make it clear to every visionary here, every creative here, every entrepreneur here, that you are worth being paid for your expertise. Because the reality is, I can guarantee you that people are in your DMs, they're in your comments, they're maybe responding to your emails, they're on your YouTube, on your TikTok, asking you all of these questions, wanting to know. And the reality is, when people want to know something, they pay for it. You are worth being paid for your expertise. So again, I showed up a lot for free 99. And yes, my business still grew, my business still thrived, but I realized I was doing a lot to make that happen, if that makes sense. Like, I was offering this service and doing this boot camp and doing this and doing that and doing that. So it was kind of like accommodating for, me showing up for free, if you will. And so again, I was working harder and not smarter. Right? So in order for me to give all of this stuff away for free in this area, I had to make up for it in this area. Right? And so again, my business was growing and thriving, but I put myself under a lot of pressure. I put myself under a lot of stress. And if you've been here for a little minute, friend, we are currently in a slowdown season. Because I realized, and God even opened my eyes to the fact that I'm running at the speed of lightning, right? But I can move a little slower so that my focus is intact, and my decisions, when I make them, they're not rash. They're not like, oh, I need to make this dollar, so let's launch this and let's do this, because that's how I was. You can ask every intern that's worked for me. I'm like, let's launch this, let's do this, let's make this shake, let's post this. I'm on every platform. I'm like, okay, call me Lightning McQueen, okay? Call me Lightning McQueen, because I was dashing, right? And so, but again, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, a lot of pressure on my team, because we're going to get her done. One thing about it, we're going to get her done, right? And so I was carrying a lot, from boot camps to branding clients to all of these things, trying to make sure we make some money. Because again, it's like, if you have passion and no profit, baby, your business is going under. And I was just talking about that on my story, of how, again, if your mindset is not on money making, this is not a nonprofit. This is not an initiative. You may include God, but I'm just including God like other people include meditation. You know what I'm saying? Like, other people include their spiritual practices. So why can I not talk about God? You know what I'm saying? This is not a ministry. This is not a nonprofit. This is not an initiative. This is a for-profit business. And so I think, again, it's very important as entrepreneurs to understand clearly what it is that you are signing up for, what it is that, you are running. You know what I mean? And so again, people don't like being sold to. No. So I'm not saying every time you show up, bad is bad. No. The marketing in me would never give you that advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, the strategist in me would never give you that advice, because no, right? You can storytell. There's so many different options that you can take in order to position your solution, right? Because your solution should always be positioned as a bridge. Your target audience has a place that they're at. They're at point A and they want to get to point B. How can you provide a solution that is the bridge for them to get there, right? To reach their goals. That is something that you want to think about. So let's go ahead and hop into one of the questions. One of the questions was, what is the difference between lowballing yourself and positioning your product for profit appropriately according to its market value? Or what do you think it should be reasonable, but also according to how you want to live? Okay, so I think they're asking, what is the difference between lowballing yourself and positioning your offer for profit according to what it is in the market? So again, every business model is different. Every business services are different, and again, it's based upon your target market. So the things that you want to consider is, number one, your expertise. You also, like you even mentioned, the market. You want to look and see your competitors, right? So you want to look into, thank you for putting this in there, because I could put this on the screen. So again, you want to look into your market. You want to look into your market. What are people charging? right? But you also want to consider who are their target market. So for example, if I look into my market, right, I'm selling a signature program. It's a 10-week program, all of the things, right? And so I look into my market and someone else is selling their 10-week program, but it's for $2,000. Before I just go and say, I'm gonna set mine for $2,000. I'm gonna set mine for $1,005 or $997, right? Before I go in and say do that, I also want to consider their target market, because you cannot say, oh, my target market is 18-year-olds. Because, honey, what 18-year-old got $2,000? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you also want to consider, because they may be charging $2,000, $3,000, but their target market is grown women. When I say grown women, I mean 30s, 40s. They got a 401k. You know what I mean? They set, right? Now, I also don't want you, and I've been learning this as well, I also don't want you to underestimate your audience, because your audience has more money than you think they do. Because sometimes we be like, oh, they can't afford it. Oh, da, da, da. And that's why a lot of times we lowball ourselves. People got money. You know what I'm saying? When I invested into a $1,000 course, because I took a $1,000 course. That's why, you can't charge nothing you ain't never spent. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I learned too. But I took a $1,000 course. I think I was 19. No, I was like 20, 21, I think. I'm about to be 24. So I was like 21, 22 when I took that course. But it was because I had value in it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to be under, this particular teacher or coach. And it's so crazy because I invested that money. Yes, I did a payment plan. So I will say, if you are going to charge a high ticket, knowing your target market, it's very important to understand, financing options and payment plans, because that also helps it where the price don't seem as bad. You know what I'm saying? And so again, I valued the coach. I valued the information that was going to be taught in there. And guess what? I joined, I made that investment, and I made that investment back 3 times. So I invested $1,000 and I walked away with $3,000. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's also important to understand your audience. Like, you have to target people that really value this solution, number one. Number two, you also have to make it where it's feasible for your audience. When you think about the average person that's in your age demographic, what is the average person able to afford at that stage in their life? And then also making it where it is, again, feasible through payment plans, financing, all of those things, right? They may not be able to afford, $1,000 off rip, but maybe they can afford a $250 deposit and then monthly payments from there. You get what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so that's what I would say for that question. Okay, so hopping back into my little experience. So what I realized in the beginning stages of business is, number one, time is money. Time is money, friend. Time is money, right? You cannot afford to give your time away for free, because it's costing your business in the long run, right? You don't want to be so lost in passion that you forget about profit. And for me, I am not your analytical friend. I am not your numbers friend. I really could care less about a number, really. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to understand and spot your weaknesses. As an entrepreneur, you have to be able to spot your weaknesses, because I am not an analytical thinker. I know that. I am a dreamer. I'm the girl you give the card to and you don't tell me how much to spend, because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see stuff and I'm going to be, ooh. Forget how much on the card. Ask my husband. Okay, this is not just business. This is how I am. I am a dreamer. If it's a birthday party, it's a birthday gift, you give me the card, I don't think about, I only got $50. Excuse me, I only got $50, so I'm going to just go, because that limits the dream. No, I say, I'm a dream, God gonna fund the dream, okay? Is it always wise? No, but I understand my weakness. I'm the dreamer. That's why when I got married, I needed someone that was opposite of me. Okay, I'm the dreamer. I send a bill to him. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, honey, wait a minute. The budget. This is the budget. But what I love about Mike Making is he just makes room for the dreamer. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be like, you think 50? I'd be like, he gonna give me 100 because he know already. I'm gonna go in that car, I'm gonna go in that store, and I'm gonna spin it all. Okay, so again, know your weaknesses. I am not an analytical thinker, so all of these numbers and all of that stuff, and sell this to make that, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think about it, but I'm not always like, ooh, how can I move the needle? How can we become 50% profitable? Like, I wasn't thinking about any of that in the beginning. I'm just like, we got to make this concept work. We got to put this offer in front of people. I'm good at marketing. I'm good at storytelling. I'm good at all of those things, right? Analytical? No, that's why I hired me an accountant, okay? Because listen, I'm not going to be focused on numbers or logistics. But I realized I was so caught up about letting God lead me and serving others and pushing others and building and transforming lives and all the things. And we did that. You know what I'm saying? The thing that I thrive in, we did, right? I showed up. We had 3 cohorts of the boot camp, had several, clients for brand building. Like, I showed up and I made money, but I had to show up a lot more than necessary. I want y'all to keep following me. I had to follow up a lot more than what was necessary. And I believe God allowed me to go through that because, I didn't start slowing down until we got to year 3, right? I was running at the speed of lightning. I told y'all, call me Lightning McQueen. I was running at the speed of lightning. And I believe that God allowed me to do that. One, because there was things that he wanted to work in me, and I'm still learning. I am not afraid to say that I'm still learning. I don't know it all, right? Because you have to remain teachable, honey. The moment you get prideful is the moment you fall on your face. And I don't want to fall on my face, okay? I don't even like scars on my face. So I can't do that, right? But then also because I'm here to teach others, right? Entrepreneurship, it's not easy. When you are a creative entrepreneur, it's not easy either, because then you're having to, again, balance what you love and making a profit off of what you love to do, right? I love to teach. I love to coach. I love to show up. I love seeing others, take different things or different books or curriculum that I've put together and apply it, and their lives change, whether that's the intentional living planner, or that's the visionary boot camp, or that's the visionpreneur journal. I love when people are able to get solutions and their lives change. I love that. Period. Boot camp alumni here. Yes, Armani. But yes, I love seeing that. But I think the reality is, you won't see transformation in your business, or you won't have a profitable business if you also don't focus on profit. You cannot get lost in your passions, friend. I am here to remind you, you cannot get lost in your passion. You cannot get lost in, I just love to do it and I can do it for free. We know you can do it for free. It's a blessing to be able to do what you love, because so many people out in this world, they sign up for jobs, they sign up for degrees that they absolutely do not love. So it's a blessing and an honor to be able to know your passion, know what you love, and show up even the more. That's your why, right? Here's what I want you to get. Your passion is your why for making profit. Okay? Your passion is your why for showing up. That's your drive. That's something you got that when you go out into this world and you have other competitors, they can't steal your why, right? They cannot take away your passion and your love for what you do. That's why when people see me and I show up and I'm loud and I'm excited and I'm right, and we're just talking about entrepreneurship, but I'm passionate about it, right? That's what people see, and it's what attracts your audience. When they looking at you and they watching the videos, that's what make people hit subscribe, follow, because they like, hold on, it's something about her. She really sincerely loves what she do, and even though she's trying to sell me this solution, it don't feel like it, because it feels like she honestly wants to see me thrive. She wants to see me win. Right? Because she's not positioning herself as the hero of the story. She's positioning herself as the bridge. Again, y'all hear me saying language, positioning your solution as the bridge. Meaning it's not about you. It's about your audience and helping them to reach their goals. So again, use that passion as a drive, because business needs that drive, right? Because business is like this, very much inconsistent. Business, when you sign up to start a business, it is about the long term, playing the long game. I know we see, several people blowing up, and, they blow up, they hit up 100K on Instagram or TikTok, and now, they in California at the Super Bowl, or they getting all these big deals, and now they millionaires. But the reality is, even once they hit that point, you can't plateau. You can't just stop and go to an island, right? Because as fast as you went up, it's as fast as you can come down. So it's very important to keep your eyes on the prize and don't compare your journey. It's about the long game in business. So again, I was giving away so much as far as free monthly training, sponsorships to the Visionary Bootcamp, live series, and all the things, which again can be beneficial as long as you get a return of that on that investment. Right? You building your community, or, you're getting emails in exchange, or you're getting, reviews. Maybe you're testing a program. So, maybe you give that a little cheaper so that you can really get real life testimonials. But you have to get a return on your investment. And so I understand too, like my heart, and I know a lot of us have hearts that we want to give, right? But you also have to remember, if I can only give more if I make more. If the business is not making money, then I can't give, right? And so I think it's very important to think long term. Think long term for your business, because you do not want to run yourself in the ground. I'm a living testament. Okay, you do not want to run your business or yourself. You don't want to run yourself in the ground trying to make all of this money, because this ain't working. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna launch that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And it's like, bro, you're drained. You're drained doing all of these things, overcompensating because you're focused on all of these free things and not what's going to make you money. And so I always give this piece of advice. Before you price anything, you need to do some research, friend. You need to do some research. Before I charge a price for a digital product, a workshop, any of the things, I need to see what is my market charging. Because then you also realize the price you set is also going to be the people you attract. If you keep setting your price at $15 for a whole set of 24 cupcakes, friend, you're going to attract people. You're going to attract people that they don't want to follow your rules. They late to put the order in. They late to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? That's who you're going to attract, unfortunately. And so when you go in, before you even create your offers, who am I trying to target? You have to get very specific. You don't want to just say, oh, I'm trying to target anybody that need a cake. Because do you know people that need a wedding cake, people that need a wedding cake think differently than people that need a birthday cake for their 2-year-old, unfortunately. People that, have, this big house and big closets think differently than people that live in an apartment with a small closet, because they planning on moving. You know what I mean? And so it's very important as you are creating your offers, whether that is programs, courses, events, services, whatever the case may be, you need to go into your market, see what other people are charging, and you also need to know your audience, and you need to get specific as specific can be. And when I talk about research, I'm talking about secondary research and primary research. Let me give you the tea on this. Secondary research is when you go on Google, social media, all the things, and you read through articles so you can see from ages 21 to 30. What is their income? That's how deep you need to get. What is the average income for this age? Right? And then also you need to think about, like, again, making profit. If you're going to charge a low ticket product, you're going to need more people. You're going to need a higher volume in order for that product to be profitable. Now, if you're going to charge a high ticket, you don't need that many clients. You don't need that many people for it to be profitable. Depending, again, of course, on your money goals. How many of us here today have money goals? How much money do you want to make? It starts there. I think somebody even asked that in the first question. I think she said, like, what portion of it is according to how you want to live? That should be considered. What do you want to, like, again, and I've learned too, like, in order to plan for the next year or the next quarter, you have to go based upon what you made last year. So if I made $30,000 in a year last year, right? When I go into this year, maybe I want to make 50,000 or 60,000. If I divide that per month, I ain't about to do the quick math on y'all. Let me get my calculator. So if I say I want to make 50,000 from the business, right? If I divide that by 12, that's $4,166. So now the question is, for this month, how can I make $4,000? How can I make this? So even before you start thinking about offers and pricing and all of those things, you have to start. And I think that's, again, where the profit mindset go in. Because sometimes we got passion picked up, right? I told myself this year, baby, you got passion down pat. We don't need to touch passion, think about passion, all the things. We just going to let it drive you, right? We're going to let passion drive you. But this year will be the year that you focus on profit. So every month, every quarter, how much money you want to make this quarter? You want to make this much for this quarter? Okay, how much you want to make each month? Okay, this is how much you need to make each month. Okay, what is the offers that you're going to be selling? What are the solutions that you could provide your audience? What are people been asking for? What people been asking for in your audience? Whether it's the audience you got or it's your industry. What do you see that's lacking, right? And so you build that. Whether it's a workshop, a class, a product, whatever the case may be, you build that. And then you're like, okay, what are my expenses? Because you got to make sure it's a profitable offer, right? I'm currently in the process, if you own my email list, you know, currently in the process of building this product. And there's some things that I have to weigh and I have to consider. Would I have considered this before 2 years ago? Absolutely not. I'd have been like, oh, they want it. Let's build it. It don't matter if it make me any money. Like, what? But it's because I love the product so much. But it's like, for me now, I'm like, y'all want it. I got it. But the question is it going to be profitable? Am I spending more than I'm making? I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't afford to. That's not a wise business move, right? That's not a wise business move. So again, before you start going into your offers, you want to first think about, what are your money goals? How much money do you want to make? What is feasible for you to make? And it want to feel like a stretch. Like, you don't want to just like, oh, I can make $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want it to feel like it's stretching you. So set a money goal. After you set your money goal, think about solutions. That's all the offer is. What is the solution you can provide your audience? Again, if it's low ticket, you're going to need a higher volume. If it's high ticket, you're going to need a lesser volume to reach your goal. So you want to consider those. Consider those. Digital products. I love a good digital product, because once you do the heavy lifting in the beginning, the end is pretty easy to sell a good product. I don't know about y'all, but I've bought several digital products before, and I felt like it was just fluff, all fluffable. Like, what is the solution here? What is it? Like, I didn't understand. And so you want it to be where, when your audience make that investment, when they walk through and they, because I say this all the time. If you buy something from me, this is my guarantee. You buy something from me, you actually apply and walk through whatever. It's a workshop, it's a curriculum, boot camp. And I mean, from high ticket. I said this for the boot camp. if you invest this money in a boot camp, you actually do the homework, you show up, you apply all the things, and you walk away and you ain't get transformation you was looking for, you can have your money back. That's my guarantee. If you buy an intentional living planner, a book, anything from me, and you don't walk away transformed, you don't walk away having applied, okay? I need to see the application. Having applied all the things there was to apply, and you don't walk away transformed, you can have your money back because I didn't do what I came to do. You know what I'm saying? The value wasn't there. And so that's the I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but that's what you want to be able to say and guarantee your audience. But you can only do that when you know, bro, this is a good quality product. Ain't nothing like it on the market. I can say that for all. That's why I can stand 10 toes down. People ask me why I'm so confident because I know I put my foot. I put my foot in every product that I have, right? Like I know that I don't do the bare minimum. Sometimes I do too much. If you ask me, it'd be a real good deal. I'm just saying. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I created a planner that's 600 pages, and I'm not here to boast, I just know that I know how to work hard, right? And that's what you have to know as an entrepreneur. So when you show up and you providing this solution, you know it's gonna walk every time. Because it's like, bro, I made a planner that's 600 pages. Please go find me a planner at Target that's 600 pages. I'll wait. You know what I mean? Like, please go find me a planner that's gonna help you live an intentional life. That's going to help you balance your plate. Like, I know my planner has different features that other planners don't got. You overwhelmed. You need to figure out how to balance your plate. I got you. Right? Like, you need to make sure your life is in alignment. I got you. Because guess what? I have a whole funnel that I made. Philosophy that I made. Not only that I made, but that I know works because I did it for my own life, and my life is a testament of the intentional living plan. You know what I mean? So I have proof that it works, and not just from me, but other people that text me and be like, "Oh, girl, I love it." You know what I'm saying? So again, that builds confidence when you know I put my foot in this product. It's a good quality product, so all the heavy lifting is done. All the heavy lifting is done, right? And so again, that's what helps you to be confident when you are trying to sell. Question number 2 that we had, and then y'all gotta go because guess what? Guess who scheduled a Pilates class at 9 o'clock? Me. It's 8:38. So a couple more questions, and then we're gonna head out. Okay, so this question is let's do this one. How to not back down on your pricing. Yeah, friend. I've been the queen of giving discounts, and all of things. I will say, I don't think I've ever backed down on my pricing, but I know that can be a struggle when, like, for example, you say like, hey, this is the offer, and people are super excited. And then when you say the price, they like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? And I always say too, like, number one, it could just not be your audience. Like, they're not your target market. So when I think about like how, and again, I'm gonna put this question up there, how to not back down on your pricing, I would say when you quote someone a price and they say they can afford it, or they like make a face, or it's like, oh, like I sincerely can't afford that. I would say 2 different options. Before you just write them off and say, oh, this isn't my target market, I would say first and foremost, see how you could work with that individual. So do they need a payment plan? Could you work something out like that? Again, I think conversations is very important to have with your customers or potential customers. It's just, imagine, right? You had a storefront. I think sometimes entrepreneurs be scared of rejection. You have to get comfortable with people telling you no. You have to get comfortable with people telling you that's too high. I mean, because the reality is, my question is, if somebody tell me your price is too high, I want to know how much are people paying for this offer. If I go in my industry and I see people charging, like, for example, if I'm doing a logo, if somebody tell me $5,000 is too much for a logo, I'm going to look in my industry. I see somebody else charging $10,000. Because guess what? I know, honey, you're not just paying for a logo. You're paying for branding, right? That's why you gotta know your expertise better than other people know your expertise, because you're the expert in the room, right? They only know so much. They know they can get a logo for $100 on Fiverr, but guess what? That's only one graphic that they can get. So then when people come back and say, I can pay $100 for that, you go and you say, oh, so you going on Fiverr where they only give you one logo and not the color palette and not the hex codes and not the, the brand guidelines on what to do and how to do. And they don't give you your brand story and your brand foundation and your brand strategy. So when you show up, you don't show up with more than a logo. I can only talk like that because I know my industry more than they do, right? You need to know how much your competitors are charging. You need to know what your competitors are offering. So when your audience come and say, I did a little research and oh, okay, I'm glad you did your research. This is what we offer. So when you walk away, you're able to da. Whereas when you go to them, honey, you only get a logo. You only get the one little mark. But with me, you get 3. You get your main, you get your secondary, and you get your sub mark too. You get what I'm saying? So you have to know how to be able to handle that conversation with rejection, right? That's how you not back down on your pricing. You know your competitors, you know your industry better than the audience. So you're not thrown off. And then you, again, have that conversation. If they tell you no, if they make a face, like, oh, like, do you need a payment plan? Is that just too much for your budget right now? Because maybe it's a right now. But I've had people, and that's how I know people got money, or if they want to make it happen, they'll happen. I quoted my pricing without stuttering. I think it was like $11,000. I quoted my pricing. I was on a consultation call. It was $11,000. And I told the woman my price, and she told me, all right, I'm about to call my bank. I'll just take out a loan. I said, oh. So when that showed me when somebody wants something and they really understand the value, because I walked you through the value, what you would be getting. I'm going to be, your consultant, walking you through from beginning to end, all the things. When people value, they make it happen. They don't care if they got to go DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I learned. You want to go to a conference? You want something that's like $200? You want that new iPhone? You're going to go DoorDash to make it happen. You're not even go Instacart. People, whatever they value, whatever they want, they make sure they go get it. Okay? So that's what I would say for that question. That's how you don't back down. You know your industry better than your audience. You know your market. You know your competitors. And you will keep a conversation. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Oh, they say no. Okay. Do you need a payment plan? How can I work with you? Oh, so this is just out of your budget. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. That's it. That's that. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why I just keep learning, but that's how I would answer that question. Hopefully y'all the T is T today, because I never want to hold back. I'm gonna always be upfront and honest. Let's see. One more question, y'all. Then I really, really, really gotta go. Let's do. I'm trying to think if should we do multiple streams of income, or should we do confidently telling people my prices? Because I feel like we just talked about that. Because I think, again, that same answer applies today. Like, if you know your audience, you know your market, just like I said, Fiverr is my competition when I was doing brand building services. Not doing that right now. But when I was doing brand building services, Fiverr is my competition. I know that they sell logos for $100, right? But my price for a logo is $5,000. So, yeah. So that's what I would say for that. It's the same answer, I think. Okay. I think someone put in the chat. Patience with the process and having faith. Some people give up because they aren't profiting at all or aren't getting the reach they feel they deserve. Let's go with that. So what I would say, I definitely understand, because I definitely understand what it's like to launch something and it's not getting I think a lot of the times we see businesses that maybe just got started, but like they selling, and it's like they making all these sales, all of those things, right? But like I said in the beginning, I think entrepreneurship is about playing the long game. And so I tell my interns this all the time. Entrepreneurship is trial and error. You have to fall in love with the experiment. That's what my advice would be. You have to fall in love with the experiment. Something don't work, learn from it. Study it. A launch don't work, study it. A launch works, study it. Mimic it until you can't mimic it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, because social media is always changing. Marketing methods are always changing. Like different things are always changing. So it's very important to understand that entrepreneurship is an experiment. At this point, call us scientists. I'm seeing the science key. Okay. Because yeah, like it really is an experiment. So you have to have fun. Have fun with the boom. One day you're gonna boom. The next day it's gonna be like, this ain't even fizzing. What's going on? You know what I mean? And change up stuff. If it ain't working and you on social media, you only got 100 followers, that's not working. Please tell me why everybody think they got to market on social media. You don't. You don't actually. You can market boots on the ground marketing. Go outside. Go in your city. You know what I mean? Like there are different things. Go to a vendor's market. You got physical product, go to a vendor's market. Some people thrive there. You know what I mean? I think it's really understanding, like, again, where's your audience? If your audience is on Facebook, why are you on TikTok? If your audience is on TikTok, why are you on Instagram? If your audience is on YouTube, why are you on Facebook? You know what I'm saying? So it's like going where your people are, but also treating it like, hey, it's an experiment. We're going to test some stuff until it works. We're going to figure it out. And don't be afraid of that. So that's what I would say. Like, what was I going to say? Yeah, patience. I don't know why I'm looking at the question over there. It's on the screen. Patience with the process and having faith. I also feel like definitely believing and trusting in what the Lord said. The Lord said what he said. He gave you the vision. He gave you the dream. I think that's also what keeps me going. Like at the end of the day, and I think that's the thing too. Sometimes you think as a believer, as a Christian, you think, oh, it's going to fall in my lap. And one day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to put my offer out there and I'm going to make millions. That's not how it works, friend. Like God's still going to allow you to go through the process because at the end of the day, there's lessons to be learned for your benefit, but also for the benefit of others. And so that's what I would say. Like, it's okay that maybe you're not making money, but also study what's going on, because sometimes it's because you're not positioning right. Maybe it don't sound right. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't have any testimonials, so you need some testers. You need to get, this in some people's hands so that they can test the product and then they can, do a review on it. Like, that's the thing. A lot of these bigger companies, I always look at bigger companies. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I always look at bigger companies to see how are they doing stuff. Because the reality is, before any company, when they running something through product development, they have what is called research studies, where they test the mock-up of that product before they launch. Because they don't want to spend all of this money in advertising and marketing and not make any money, right? And so it could be a lot of things. Is it your leads? Do you have leads? Are you trying to sell to people that are cold as cold can be? They don't even know you. They don't know the value you have, so they're not investing. You know what I'm saying? So are your leads cold? Do you have warm leads? Do you have hot leads? People that are ready to buy? Do you know who those people are? Right? Those are the things that you want to think about, because there are plenty of reasons that people aren't buying, especially if your solution is a good quality solution. And so again, treat it like an experiment. It's time to study. It's time to put your goggles on. That's what I would say. So before you can get in the car to like rush through the process and just get to the money, you have to slow down and be able to really take in what's going on after you launch. Don't be ashamed that it's not making. Oh my goodness. Sometimes we get caught in that spiral. Oh my goodness, I'm not making any money and I feel bad and nobody likes me. Nobody likes my business. We get in that spiral. Come up out of that. That's something you got to take time, deal with, journal about. But once you come out of that, again, business is not personal. You know what I'm saying? It's not elementary school where people like, oh, I'm not buying from her because she ugly and I don't like her. This is not that time, right? So you got to deal with that. That's why I say deal with the visionary so you can build the vision. Because when it comes down to the vision, it's not personal. It's not emotional, right? Like, you have to be able to think logically. You have to be able to put those goggles on, those big girl goggles, those big guy goggles, and say, you know what? The launch, it flopped. I've had some flopped launches, right? It flopped. But guess what? We got to pivot. I say that all the time. You have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn how to pivot. Okay, guys, I really have to go to Pilates class 8:50. But yeah, so I'll be sure to bring back some a couple of questions I did. I think seeing one question that I did want to answer tomorrow. But friend, I hope you enjoyed this live. Okay, be back for it tomorrow because we're gonna talk about tightening up your business model. Okay, we're gonna talk about what a business model is. And so again, I hope that you enjoyed this live. I will be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. EST time. Again, if you want to organize the millions of ideas in your head, be sure to grab the Visionpreneur journal and sign up for that giveaway. It's free $99. Like, at this point, I'm handing it to you so you can start your business. Okay. But yeah, that's all. That's it. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, snap.